up everybody, it's Pery-Ayes Real Life Adventures, and in this video we're going to be going over my entire mod list and my plans for my Chrysler 300.
Zombie apocalypse.
If you guys like this content, don't forget to hit like and consider subscribing. I drop videos every Thursday. Alright, first off, we're going to get started with my exhaust system and my tips. So the exhaust system cost me around $430 and the tips were around $45, but I believe they're like 56 or something, 54 or so on Amazon now. As far as the install, it was kind of, I just took it to a shop, you know. I didn't install it myself. The tips, I just hit it on with the mallet, you know, it was pretty simple. I just got a U-clamp from AutoZone. It was probably like $5 and smacked it on. My opinion on this, it is definitely worth it. For me, I like the tone of the exhaust system. Also, most of these will be in the description below. I'll have a link for all the videos I've went through with them. Alright, next we got wheels and tires. So I went with some Asantis. I don't really remember the exact model, but they ran me around like 1,300 bucks, and I believe they came with lug nuts. I got the lug pattern that I needed, but yeah, as far as tires, I went with some Nitto Motivos. I think they're around like 700 or 800 bucks, I can't remember, but yeah, the install pretty easy. My opinion on that was it definitely looks good, but I don't know if I would spend that much money on that again, just because like I know there's powder coating options and all that, so if you're, as long as I'm comfortable with the wheel size, I'd rather just get it powder coated. And the video for that one is going to be in the link below too. Next we have springs. So I went with some lowering springs. They were some Eibach lowering springs. I'm not sure. There was two different options for the lowering springs. One was a little bit lower than the other, and I guess I accidentally went with the one that was actually a little bit higher. And I wanted to go a step below, but it still does look good. I just want it a little bit lower. I think it wasn't even that much lower. I think it was maybe like half an inch or so, but it looked really good. And yeah, but right now it looks pretty decent. I'm not complaining or anything. The price on those were around $300, and the install was kind of hard. If you don't know what you're doing, it could definitely be hard. I know on one spot, or on the rear, when I had to do the rear, we kind of had to drop the frame to get the spring in. It was a little weird, but we got it in and got it set to go. My opinion on that one is definitely good, because before the gap was so crazy on it, and now it's like probably like maybe 2 or 1 finger on the rear, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I used to be able to stick my whole hand in the gap before, so it was a little rough. Next we got a K&N intake. The price for this one was around 300 bucks too. The install wasn't that bad. Yeah, it wasn't really hard. I just unbolted the old one and threw the new one on. As far as my opinion on it, was it worth it? I did kind of feel something, but it wasn't anything crazy in the gains aspect, so I would definitely say it might be worth it if you get a tune maybe, but yeah, that's my opinion. The next one's going to be a lower intake manifold. The price can differ. I know you can get probably one for around $125 all the way to $200 or so. It just depends on what website you go on and choose. But this is the intake manifold from the Chrysler Pacifica, so it's an upgraded intake manifold. I believe it's the lower one, so the holes are a little bit bigger. Install was pretty crazy on this. Well, not really crazy, but if you don't know what you're doing, it could definitely be overwhelming. You don't want to drop a bolt down the hole where your intake is and have it go into your motor. That could be a nightmare. So if you can, have someone supervise you that knows what they're doing mechanically, or if you know what you're doing mechanically or have somewhat idea, you can do this yourself, or you could pay a mechanic to do it. Ported throttle body. Price on this varies. On MMX website, it's like $300 to $400 depending on which one you get. So I went with the non-polished one, but it was ported, and that one was $300, but the polished one is around $400, and it just like it said, it's polished and it's like really shiny and stuff. I didn't really care about the looks, so I just went with the regular one. Install was super easy. You just took off the back end of the intake and then took out 3 bolts and unclipped the wire, and then threw your new one in, clipped the wire up, and put those 4 bolts on, throw the intake back on, boom, you're done. Super easy. It took me like 10-15 minutes or so. My opinion on this was, this is probably the most worth it mod to me because it gave me the most gains that I felt personally. I don't know if I haven't put on a dyno, so I don't know what it was like before, but for me, I could definitely feel a lot more than any of the other mods I've done. So it was definitely worth it for me. Next one's going to be a grill. The price was around 80 bucks or so on this, and it wasn't that hard to install. I did have to take off the bumper and stuff. I had people in my video about that in the comments saying, oh, you didn't have to take off the bumper. And someone else said you didn't have to unplug the battery and stuff. And I just rather be safe than sorry, you know. I don't want to blow a fuse or like have an airbag go off or something, you know. I just rather take that extra precaution to be safe rather than sorry. So that's the reason why I did that. And the next one's going to be a wrap. So for me, I just de-chromed my vehicle. The cost was like around 90 bucks or so. I got like 6 by 5 foot. And yeah, the install was a little bit difficult in certain areas just because the way the car shapes and bends. The wrap doesn't really like to cooperate as well, so definitely kind of a little bit more difficult, but a few practices, a few tries, you can definitely get it done. This one was definitely worth it for me because I did not like the chrome on that Chrysler. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the chrome on that. Chromes can look good on certain aspects, but just the way they had it set up on that, I did not like it. The next spot I got is kind of like a interior accessory deal. I got subs put in. I have 2 12s. I know it's not technically like a performance mod, but I consider this a mod because you're upgrading your sound system. But yeah, I got 2 12s. It sounds really good. I'm thinking of going down to 112 because it's just so loud, and I got some crazy stuff coming up for you guys, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for what's about to be going on this channel. But back to what I was saying. I'm pretty sure you can get a sound system for under 500 bucks easily. Yeah, the install was pretty alright. It was kind of difficult here and there, but with the battery in the back, it made it a lot easier than regular cars where the battery's underneath the hood. So having it in the back is a lot easier to wire everything. Alright, so these are going to be my plans for the next coming mods for my Chrysler. I want to throw a tune on it, obviously. That's probably going to be priority number 1. The tune I want is Diablo i3 tuner, and I might get an overkill tune, I'm not sure, but that's where I'm at right now. The next is going to be a splitter. Splitter, I think I'm just going to get one from Amazon and get some splitter rods and connect it all up. The next one I want to do is a Wicker Build, but I do have to get an SRT spoiler and then the Wicker Build because you can't do it without the other, sadly. But that's definitely something I want to do. They look super good and I just want it on mine. And lastly, a diffuser. I think this would look super cool on a Chrysler 300 just because I don't think I've seen that much people do it. So I definitely want to be one of those people that do it. Also, there's always going to be someone that has a better car than you, no matter where you're at in life. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't think you have the nicest car. It's okay. Mod what you got. If you made it this far, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button and comment down in the comment section what you want to see me do next. Also, consider subscribing. I drop videos like this every Thursday.